Good morning, guys. Welcome to my Monday morning rant for Monday, the 20th of June, 2022. I'm still on a high from an epic 2-day shoot on Saturday and yesterday, Sunday as well, with Miss Daisy Liu, who is a Sydney-based escort that I had shot with once before. We did a duo shoot with Anna Moon, and she's just someone that I got along with straight away. She's crazy, crazy intelligent to a point where I actually find her quite intimidating. She's just such a sharp tool, and she's such a smart cookie, and I loved hanging out with her last time, and it was a bit of a rushed shoot last time, because Anna had to catch a plane. But this time around, it was literally we shot over 2 days, and she's probably more comfortable in her skin than any girl I've ever shot, to a point where, again, that's also intimidating for me. It's easier when I have a few drinks. Despite shooting naked bodies all these years, I still find that having a few drinks when I shoot loosens me up to a point where there's no nerves, and I can just get on with it and do what I do best. But I wouldn't say that she was pushing me to do more edgy, sort of more erotic content, but there was a little bit of that going on, and I'm not complaining. I don't mind. The guys on my Patreon are surely very happy to see more. But at the same time, I've talked about it before. It's just really difficult to shoot to shoot a vagina up close and keep it artistic at the same time, and that matters to me, right? Like, I just I don't want to veer into that whole pornography and all that stuff. I mean, it just it gets to a point where it all starts to look a little bit too too much like something that you might find in a biology textbook or something. I don't want it to get so detailed that it just it all looks a little bit too obvious, and you start to wonder why. Like, why am I doing this? And, at the same time, I did go back through some of my older photography and how much more artistic it was. And I do miss that. But I don't think that I would feel right about shooting super artistic stuff with a model who wasn't artistic herself. I think the best work that I've ever done in terms of artistic merit has been with girls who were artists, and we very much had special collaborations going on where as an artist, she was expected to move and I was expected to capture. And there's a really nice synergy there. You're not posing so much, you're just flowing. And to try to do more arty shots, especially like, with Viv, for example, who's finding more of her artist self, and we can do arty shots, but it doesn't come as naturally. And speaking of the arty shots, like I shot with Tilly, this girl Tilly recently, who runs a podcast, and she's very much an artist. She has some art out there in an exhibit right now, and I finished up editing all of those shots last week, and man, there are some shots in there that are so arty that when you sit one of those shots alongside a typical sort of boudoir hotel shoot of a girl in lingerie, they're completely different. And so yeah, I don't know, it's just a little bit introspective, and I just kind of like would really love to do more arty stuff. I don't shoot with Rosamina anymore because she's kind of largely moved on, and I really miss that. I miss her, and I miss shooting with her. But I'm definitely doing a bit more of both now, right? Like I think with the shoot with Daisy last weekend was just straight out content for her OnlyFans. It's way, way, way more graphic and erotic than the stuff that I do. And I'm sure the boys will love it. And I just need to find my happy medium with it, and what is too far. And, I don't think that kind of stuff is really allowed on Patreon in the first place. I've been in trouble for posting more graphic stuff before. It's just not the right platform for it, and I'm really not interested in creating an OnlyFans, just because I think that platform's synonymous with pornography, and it's just not something that I want to get into. I received a package from Abby, who runs a business called Cremos Customs, where she makes custom garments and all sorts of stuff, where you can get your gear basically customized with a message of yours or a logo of yours. And she's put some of the photos that I've taken of her on some of this gear, and she's sent me some of it. And it's been sitting there for like 2 weeks now in a box. And again, it's just opening mail is just something that I'm shit at doing. I'm still really good at putting things aside, and it's not good. The last week my water stopped working, and I started to panic about whether I'd paid a water bill or not. And it stressed me the fuck out. And it turns out that they were just doing some maintenance, but I was just digging up paperwork from like more than a year ago, and like email addresses that I don't have access to, so I can't log into the online sites and all that shit. And then I also received a shit ton of letters from the RTA. Turns out my e-tag has been deactivated because I didn't pay a bill or something. And then I received all these other bills with extra charges, and I had to do that on the phone, and fuck, like, it just serves me right. I really need to get over this fucking ADHD or whatever it is. I need to get past it, and I'm doing well with cleaning up the house and shit like that, and opening mail. Just opening the fucking mailbox is it's got to become a priority. So yeah, I haven't even opened this box from Abby. There's some goods in there waiting for me, and I can't wait to see my work on print. There's something about print, right? I love that. I love being able to hold my work. So, and to be able to wear it will be cool too. Like, I wouldn't really go out and wear like clothes with hot chicks on my chest. I think it's always a bit embarrassing when you see a guy walking down the street and is wearing like a hot naked babe on his t-shirt. But if it's a shot that I shot myself, at least there's a story behind it, right? It's like if someone goes, why the fuck would you wear that? Because like, what's the go with wearing that hot chick on your t-shirt? Well, I'll be like, well, I shot that. So I think context is important. And yeah, I'm going to leave it at that. Apart from that, I've really also just been enjoying being part of these communities, right? I've been a part of Reverberations, this writing group, and I still haven't written anything yet, but that is floating around in my forebrain. And I know that it's going to be any moment now that I'll just start typing and I'll start writing. And just being part of that community is nice. And we actually have a Zoom meeting in half an hour from now at 7:30. So That's why I'm up early, and I thought I'd get this done first. And I've also been in touch still with my mate Josh, who runs the Organic Food Hub online shop, right, that sells organic foods. And he's been talking about community. So I put him onto Mighty Networks as well, which is what the Reverberations group is running on. And Josh has set up an organic food hub community on Mighty Networks and invited me on there to just check everything out, what he's done, and give him some feedback on that. But as of last night, he's started inviting some people on there. So again, this community thing is great. I've also been invited to be on an Instagram group of boudoir photographers, mostly Sydney and Melbourne based. And these guys are super talented photographers. They're very much in the profession of boudoir, which I've never liked to label my work as boudoir. I've always desperately tried to come up with a better word for it, but I've never succeeded in finding that word. But boudoir is it's French, and it's traditionally shooting a woman in her bedroom, or like at her makeup station or something like that. And I think it's a very definitive style, but I think my style is what I do is it goes beyond boudoir much of the time. But these guys, it's been good to be on it. Like, I've already contributed a fair bit, and I butt heads with one dude that was questioning whether I should be sharing some of the photographs that I did share on there. And I thought he had a really valid point. I obviously am totally allowed to use my photos on some social media and on my Patreon, but I save the uncensored stuff for my Patreon, and I don't have any kind of contract with the girls that I shoot that suggests that I can share it elsewhere at all. So this being a new thing, a new group, I shared a couple of photos of Viv on there, and then got called out on it. I contacted Viv straight away and just told her what I'd done. Of course, she's cool with it, which I relayed back to the group. And the guy that I had a beef with said that, oh, thanks for letting us know that, if he feels much better about it. It's like, well, you get all types of people, right? Some people are really upset that I'm not going to be sharing. I got private messages from people saying, fuck that guy. I want to see this stuff, because being able to share our work without censorship as photographers would be a really nice thing. But at the same time, the guy who created the beef, I'm totally on his side, and I totally get his perspective. I would hate it for other photographers on there to be somehow influenced to share shit that they weren't allowed to share. So bang on, there's always a learning lesson. It's just nice to have a little group of photographers, even though it's not as uncensored and as open as I'd like it to be. It's just nice to be part of that group. There's some really good photographers in there, and some have reached out to me in private, and we might even be getting a little podcast over Zoom together, which would be great. I would love to buzz the brains of other people who do what I do for work. It would be fascinating. So yeah, and then I've still got the gaming Discord as well. The guys on there on my Discord, as well as the clan Discord for Destiny. So it's nice to be part of communities again. I'm not so nervous about it. Like, I just know that if shit hits the fan and stuff goes wrong, well, then so be it. But at the moment, it's nice to be part of evolving communities and to have multiple places to contribute to. So the next step, obviously, will be creating more content so I can share it around. And that's where it's at, right? So I haven't really consistently been doing much more than just these Monday morning rants and photography as content, and writing is on the cards, um, and more. So guys, I hope everyone has an awesome week. I will be busy for some time now editing photos of Daisy's anatomy because my God, we shot a lot over the last 2 days. And I'm not complaining. She is an awesome girl. It was just so good to have such a huge chunk of time with her, considering it was only our second and third shoots. And I'm sure there will be many more shoots with her to come. I will leave it at that. I shall catch you guys in the next one. See yous.